Hello and welcome to Money Management. This week, BT lobbies government on reform, the FOS cracks down on MIS advice and big plans for Yellow Brick Road. But first, here's your news roundup, brought to you by Securitor. The Rudd government's 2010 federal budget was relatively quiet from a strategy perspective, but the industry welcomed efforts to make Australia a financial services hub for the Asian region. A new task force has been created to further that aim, chaired by Mark Johnson and including former FPA Chief Joanne Block, AMP's Craig Dunn and Vanguard's Jeremy Duffield. Under changes announced in the budget, it will be easier for listed companies to issue bonds to retail investors, and investors will be granted tax cuts on savings products including term deposits, bonds, debentures and annuities. One of the changes confirmed in the budget was the reversion of rules relating to superannuation contribution caps. Responding to the changes, software company Midwinter Financial Services modelled a potential new strategy that could benefit clients using transition to retirement pensions. But as MLC's Paul Sarkis pointed out, there remain questions over the details of the rules, which are aimed at those playing catch-up with super rather than people with existing substantial super balances. Impending reforms to the advice industry may see more advisors acquiring partial client bases, particularly clients not being serviced under existing commission-based arrangements. Alan Kenyon of Kenyon Prendeville said some bigger players might sell off C&D client bases, creating opportunities for other advisors to service them. Meanwhile, AMP Chief Craig Dunn said the Australian financial planning sector was about to embark on a new era. In addition to cutting commissions to advisors from 1 July, Dunn said the group was working to make its products and services more accessible through channels other than the advice channel, such as online, over the phone and through other third parties. The head of Asgard, Wayne Wilson, left the company just weeks after Jeff Lloyd's departure from BT Financial Group. Wilson is now looking for a new role in wealth management, and Asgard is recruiting for a new chief. In the meantime, BT's Platforms GM, John Shuttleworth, said the group remained committed to both the Asgard and BT Wrap platforms. Johan Karlberg and 3 of his analysts have announced they're leaving AXA, prompting Standard & Poor's to put a sell rating on 3 of AXA's wholesale Australian equity and industrials funds. S&P also placed 7 BlackRock funds on hold as a result of the impending departure of investment team heads Andrew Jackson and David Walsh. Meanwhile, Van Eyck Research named former US-based S&P researcher John O'Brien as head of research, replacing Nigel Douglas, who moved to Perpetual earlier this year. At the same time, the group confirmed the head of its strategic research unit, Dr. Nigel Wilkins-Smith, has left and taken a role with the Future Fund. Compliance firm Paragem launched a new online resource tool for SMSF trustees, and the ATO is also ramping up its educational efforts in the SMSF space. ASIC announced new dispute resolution measures for lenders, including margin lenders, requiring them to handle complaints internally in under 21 days as opposed to the 45 days previously allowed. Finally, Schroders Investment Management, led by Greg Cooper, took out the top prize for the second year running in the Money Management Lonsec Fund Manager of the Year Awards. In this week's Money Management, BT Financial Group lobbies government on reforms to the advice industry. Chris Kennedy finds the Financial Ombudsman Service is cracking down on MIS advice. And Ashley McIntyre outlines Mark Bourris's expansionary plans for Yellow Brick Road. For all the details on those stories, see tomorrow's edition of Money Management. Thank you for joining us, and I'll see you again next week.